would I personally be a vendor at Niagara Falls Comic Con? Yo, it's Nate. Welcome back to the channel. I actually forgot to create an intro for this video, so we're doing this now, a couple days after the event. So as you can see from the title of this video, we are headed to Niagara Falls for the Niagara Falls Comic Con. We are going there with one goal in mind, which is to meet both voice actors for Miles Morales, and hopefully we can get them to sign my artwork. We're also going to go take a look at their artist alley and see if it's a worthy convention to be a vendor at. So let's get to it. Alright, so sorry if you can hear the TV in the background, but we finally made it to the hotel room. It's been an interesting day so far. It's been raining quite heavily on and off. We skipped the hotel this morning and we went straight to Buffalo since they wouldn't let us check in early. But yeah, we went to Buffalo, had a couple Target runs here and there, and then we made our way back. And right now we're just chilling in the hotel room waiting for this rain to leave. Hopefully we can go out again later in the evening and we'll see how that goes. Before I forget, today's sneakers of the day are the Air Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined. These are of course the ones with the Nike Air on the back, which is definitely a must. As you can see, my pair has been worn quite heavily, has a lot of miles on it. I wore this on both trips to New York and not Vancouver, that's my other pair. But anyways, yeah. We're right outside our hotel room and right across the hallway is perfect because that's where the convention center is. So that's where we'll be tomorrow. Looks like it's cleared up. Just a little spit of rain, but shouldn't be too bad. Guess we'll be heading out. So I ended up getting the macchiato and the vanilla milkshake. And what did you get?
I got the gooey mooey and then the caramel macchiato too.
That looks really good. Wish I can have some, but allergy to peanuts prevents me from doing so. Ah well.
Oh well.
Good morning. So it's currently about 7:12, 7:13 in the morning, and the con opens at 10. So hopefully we're gonna get some breakfast and then we'll slowly make our way over to the con. Hopefully we can get a good spot in line for the autographs, but we'll see you there. Today's sneakers of the day are the Air Jordan 1 Origin Story. Another really worn pair, as you can see by the creases on the toe box. I thought I'd wear these since obviously it's a special occasion with our goal for today. Hopefully we can get the autographs that we want. But yeah, let's see how we do. Yo, editing Nate here. Quick sidebar to explain my artwork piece that I'm having them sign. This piece is actually a play on the classic Spider-Man pointing scene from the 1967 cartoon, which has been used quite a bit ever since it became a meme. It's evolved into many different iterations since the cartoon, appearing both in live action and animated movies, as well as the video games. What I did for this piece was take the first full suits that both respective Miles wore. For the PS5 game, it was the one that Peter gifts him. And for the movie, it's the one that Miles dons for his widely known leap of faith scene in Into the Spider-Verse. Both suits featured a pair of sneakers that were done in collaboration with Adidas and Air Jordan respectively. For the PS5 game, Adidas created a black and red superstar that had Miles' spider logo on the back heel tab. For the Spider-Verse movie, Air Jordan created the Origin Story, and that one is a variant of the popular Chicago colorway that many of us sneakerheads have as a grail in their collection. Quick side note about the Jordans, in the movie Miles wears the Chicagos, not the Origin Story. I actually made sure to make that distinction in my art, and I also made the change that both Miles are pointing at each other's shoes instead of each other. I know it's only been one day, but thank you, Rue, for having us.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, welcome back. So we have quite a bit to talk about for this con. So you might have noticed that there wasn't much footage of the con itself, and I actually do have a reason for that. The overall vibe that I got from this convention was, it felt off. It felt like not too many, if any of them, wanted me, or yeah, they didn't seem to like me shooting footage or like walking around with my camera shooting any footage, which is weird because I did notice a couple other people with like full camera rigs shooting content as well, but I don't know what they felt, but I definitely felt kind of weird because I kept getting faces, I kept getting comments saying, I don't know, weird stuff. It didn't feel like I was really welcome shooting content there, so it kind of discouraged me from getting actual footage there. I even had one lady at the Artist Alley. I'm gonna assume that she was a proxy. I don't know if she was the original artist or not, but the vibe I got was that she was a proxy. But anyways, that doesn't matter. But yeah, this particular lady, she let me shoot maybe like 1 or 2 pieces of footage from that table, from her table. And then after that, she basically stopped me. She basically paywalled me. She was like, no, I can't let you take any more footage. You have more than enough. But if you want to shoot more, you would have to buy one of our pieces or something like that. And I won't lie, I did feel very pressured to actually buy something, but I took a step back and realized it was a scummy feeling. It didn't feel good, so I didn't buy anything, and I also did not include any of their footage in this video because I didn't like how I was treated. But anyways, see, it's stuff like that that gave me that overall vibe that I wasn't really welcome, or it didn't feel comfortable to shoot footage there. But anyways, that's just how I feel. For the actual convention overall, it was actually really well organized. There were quite a bit of staff there, and they were spread out amongst the crowds, helping everyone, you know, form a organized line, keeping the line moving as we made our way through into the convention center, because the line was pretty long. It actually wrapped around the building. But these staff, they managed to keep everyone organized. They prevented anyone from cutting the lines, made sure that everyone got the stamps, stuff like that. They were really well organized, and they kept everything moving smoothly up until, you know, the opening of the actual convention, which is really cool. And I applaud them for that. They were really, really well done in terms of organization. In terms of the actual tables, the exhibitors, etc., it was pretty much your standard stuff. You know, Funko Pops, figures, comic books, stuff like that, which is obviously to be expected. I will say though that since this is a much smaller convention than your standard conventions, let's say in Toronto or something like that, so let's say like Fan Expo or Anime North, the scale is so much smaller, and I think all those items that are for sale, you know, the common items become much more emphasized. When I say that, it's like you have walls of like Funko Pops that are just like on every table, and you really, it feels a bit more emphasized that like there's not much variety. It's just a lot of Funko Pops, figures, etc., that are there. But yeah, I think it's just the fact that it's a lot more smaller than your standard convention that you would go to in like Toronto or Vancouver, let's say. The biggest thing I wasn't a fan of for this specific convention was the room that they had the celebrities in. The main reason I say that is because the lighting in there was atrocious. It was dimly lit, poor lighting. And the reason why I did not like that, and I'm sure, you know, anyone wouldn't like that, is because if you were to, you know, if you had a celebrity you wanted to meet and you wanted to have a photo with them, because they do offer like autographs or photos or both. If you wanted to get a photo with them, obviously you want to have it done in an area that is well lit so that you can have a good photo, right? This room, it was so dim. Like in my head, it was so dim that you would definitely have to, if you were like a video editor or photo editor, you would have to edit the lighting or like the exposure to make it much brighter in post, just so that you can see the subject. But that's just me. It was not a great room to be in. The photos, I don't know about how the photos turned out, but unless you had your own some sort of like lighting or, you know, solid equipment that can kind of balance out the bad lighting in there, I don't know about the quality of lighting in there. So like, for example, some of the celebrities that were there were Peter Weller, so like the original RoboCop, and like Chevy Chase from National Lampoon, Community, stuff like that. They had, I'd say, the biggest lines from where we were standing. And you know, if you were there to meet them and wanted a photo with them, obviously, like I said, you want to have a well-lit room so you have a good photo when you do meet them. That room wasn't it. I'll say that much. Moving on to the artist alley for this convention, it wasn't like your standard artist alley that you would be used to from other conventions, or you know, the ones that you see in other YouTuber vlogs and stuff like that. I would say the ratio of the setup or the layout of their artist alley was like 70% comic book and cartoon illustrators, and then 30% maybe, you know, your standard artists with the small booths and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to have the illustrators there. It's just, I swear in other conventions you usually have a separate area for illustrators and creators like that, and then you have obviously the artist alley for the even smaller creators who have their little shops, such as me, you know. But I'm not saying it was a bad thing. It was cool to see their stuff, but I think the biggest thing for this artist alley was that there was not a lot of foot traffic, and like I said earlier, in terms of like the amount of people that were there, the line wrapped around the building. We were there on a Saturday, which, you know, normally is a busy day. But yeah, and just thinking back of the general attendance there, in the general area of the convention hall where there are all the vendors and stuff like that, busy, super busy. Some of them even had lines and stuff like that. But the minute you step into the artist alley, normally, you know, artist alley tends to be super busy, hard to walk around the aisles. Here it was empty, so like you could go to every single one as much as you want to. You know, some of the artists, the vendors, they were just sitting there. They were on their phones, they were just chilling, and there wasn't any traffic, which is not great to see. So that being said, would I personally be a vendor at Niagara Falls Comic Con? No. It didn't seem like there was enough traffic to make it a worthy convention to go to, especially on a busy day like that. Granted, you know, not every convention is the same, not every day is the same. Traffic-wise, attendance-wise, it could be different, and that's totally understandable. It's just, it didn't seem like there was any interest in the artist alley. It almost felt like an afterthought. Even like the cartoon, the comic book illustrators that were there in the artist alley, they weren't getting any traffic either. So it didn't feel like it was worthy for me personally to go there. Like, my niche is already very niche, like sneakers and Spider-Man and stuff like that, that it didn't even seem like anyone was interested in that section. So I don't think it's worthy for me to go and spend the time and the effort and the money to actually be there for 3 days and not have the traffic that, you know, one would hope for. Meeting Shamik and Naji, amazing. I will say though that with Shamik, it did seem that he was a bit more introverted, reserved, kind of shy, and it felt like, well, okay, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, because we were there, we were like fourth in line when he first came, and I guess maybe he needed time to warm up to the crowd or to the people that came to see him. I will say I was a bit starstruck, but I was also kind of difficult for me to get a read on him to try and like start a conversation with him. Again, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I understand if he felt introverted or shy or stuff like that, but it was definitely a bit harder to talk to him. Whereas when I met Naji, he was much more warm and inviting and welcoming. When I showed him my artwork, he definitely showed enthusiasm for it. He was like, yeah, where do I sign? What do you want me to sign? Stuff like that. It was great. Good to meet him. Either way, it was amazing to meet them both and just have them autograph my artwork. I still have to get that framed and hang it somewhere in this room. But yeah, maybe in the future I'll do it again at another event. I have a bunch of stuff I'd love for them to sign. But yeah, amazing to meet them both and would love to do it again. Overall, I would say it was a decent convention. It's one I would say to visit maybe once, and to visit if you were in the area or if there was a celebrity like how it was for us, a celebrity that you were looking forward to meet and have a photo, have an autograph or something like that. I would definitely recommend, especially the second scenario, because for smaller events like these, the lineups for meeting the celebrities are much smaller than compared to if you were to go to like Toronto and try to meet these celebrities. Obviously the lineups would be much longer,
because, you know, bigger event, more people, longer wait times to have the autograph or the photo and stuff like that. So if you are within that area and you want to meet someone there, yeah, you can definitely go there. I recommend it. But yeah, not too bad of a convention. Not too bad of a convention as an attendee, but I don't know how I'd feel as a vendor. But that's just me. But yeah, that about wraps up my thoughts on Niagara Falls Comic Con. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. The next event that we're hoping to go to is Fan Expo in Toronto. I think that's in a month or two. But yeah, we went last year. The Artist Alley was amazing. Got a lot of stuff then. And definitely going to do it again this year. Can't wait to see what kind of art we'll see this year as well. But yeah, even before then, I'm sure I have a video lined up. I'll have something available. Until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.